Hi everyone, this is Gizam. I'm an associate manager for our customer relations department. As a past international student myself, I understand the challenges and hurdles that we need to go through. And here I am to make the process a little bit easier for you, and I will walk you through our application form so you can have a seamless experience. So first thing that you would need to do is check your eligibility. So the eligibility criteria would be that you are admitted or enrolled into a MPower approved school, one of the 400 schools that we have that we're also growing. And the other one would be graduating within 2 years of your program. So when you are choosing this section, if you're accepted to a school, which is congratulations, you're admitted, then you would choose that if you're just admitted to a university. If you're currently enrolled, which means that you have started your program, you would choose that and move forward according to your experience with application. After you check your eligibility, one of the tips here that will be crucial is that your expected graduation date. We want to ensure that we understand you're graduating within 2 years. So even though you don't know your graduation date, you can put your program end date by speaking with your university to understand the requirements. Here, GPA would be if you're already enrolled to your current university that you need the loan for. So that being said, if you finish your program somewhere else, you would not have this prompt. So please ensure that you choose admitted if you did not start the program instead of enroll, because we will ask the GPA for the current university. Then we would like to get to know you a little bit more. One of the most important areas is that your citizenship country, so where your passport would be from. If you have dual citizenship, please let us know which one you want to move forward with, then we will need the documents accordingly. One of the other most important things would be permanent address. This is the address of your citizenship country or where you are in the long term going to be staying. So if you're already in the US as an international student or Canada on an international student visa, etc., please ensure that you don't put permanent address as US address. This should be your citizenship country address or wherever maybe you're in a permanent resident. Then we'll ask for your immigration status. If you're going to be an international student, please choose non-citizen. If you're DACA, permanent resident, etc., you would need to choose accordingly because this section will be very crucial to understand what documents are required. And if you don't have a visa already, that's perfectly fine in the US. If you're approved, the good news is that we can give you a support letter, which is free of charge to help you with your immigration process. And we would like to know more about which school, which campus, which will be also important so we understand if you're approved where to send the funds to, because we send the funds directly to the university. So it will be crucial that we understand which school and campus you're going to. And standardized tests, if you have taken like GRE, GMAT, language test, TOEFL, please ensure that you fill this out with the scores that you got, because this may be very important in the near future because we will need documentation for these. If you did not take it, that's perfectly fine. You just need to say waived if it's waived, and if you haven't taken it, that's perfectly fine. If you're currently employed or you have any type of employment history, maybe you're not employed right now, we would like to know if you worked somewhere that may be relevant to your current degree. And if you did not have any employment history, that's perfectly fine. However, if you have it in the past or you're currently working, that can actually leverage your application a little bit better. And one of the most important things is financials, right? So here, we want to understand your 1-year cost in US dollars. So if you're going to a Canadian university, you'll need to convert Canadian dollars to US dollars since our loans are in US dollars. So we would like to know your tuition costs, cost of living such as housing, any additional costs that you can think like books and health insurance costs, which is normally a requirement. That being said, we would need the 1-year amount. The good news is that we can calculate if it's 2 years. So you would let us know, hey, I have 3 semesters to graduate, because we need to know all the costs until graduation, so that we can look at your current status and see how we can help you further. So if you have 3 semesters, it would be 1.5 years. So if you have 1 year cost, we'll multiply it with 1.5 and see this is the overall cost until graduation. And if you don't know what your costs are, you can always go to the website of your school and program. That should be able to walk you through. And as you can see, we will put your financial plan together. If you have any funding, like families helping, you have personal funds, you have scholarship, your employer currently is helping, we need to know that they're available funds too, not already spent funds or promised funds like scholarship. So if you look at this as an example, your cost, let's say in US dollars, is $60,000, and you told us I have family funding, scholarship, which is total $42,000 until graduation. So what we will do here is you will see funding gaps, so deducting your overall cost until graduation minus what funding is available to you, to say how much you need from MPower. Because you're able to calculate this, if you look at the requested loan amount section, you can start from funding gap and then you can add that amount. If you think that this is incorrect, you can always go back and then check your finances. Depends on the school, we may be able to cover your living expenses, traveling, laptops, etc. Then the maximum that you may qualify for a lifetime is $100,000 US. What can happen here is, if we don't need any additional information other than the documents, because we will always need the documents after your written application, we'll tell you that you can be conditionally approved for a certain amount, which is, for this application, you can get X amount basically. The maximum you can apply per semester is $50,000 US, and the maximum for a lifetime is $100,000. In this application, let's say you want it for 2 semesters, which is an academic year, you may be having an application that is over $50,000 in one. However, if you want for 1 semester $60,000, we're unable to do that currently. It needs to be maximum $50,000. And in the end, after you fill out the other information, we'll ask for your ID. If you have passport, that would be great. If you don't, you can give one of the government issued IDs, such as your driver's license, state ID, other government IDs, national IDs that you can use, so then we can move to the next stage. These are the steps that you need to take to start a loan application with MPower Financing. Please visit us at empowerfinancing.com.